Judge Stephanie Boyd gave this defendant a choice that could change his entire future: 10 years on strict probation or 3 years in prison. Facing a criminal history, gang ties, and repeated violations, Mark Lewis had just seconds to decide. His answer stunned the courtroom.
State.
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
For the defense.
All J. Smith for the defense.
And are you Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. This one, they're going to come back on that one. All right, we're back on the record. We're here for sentencing. You entered a plea of no contest on November 28th, applied for deferred adjudication. The court ordered a TAP evaluation and PSI. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application. They're taking in consideration County Court Cause number 686624. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defense has, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, are there any witnesses, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Perhaps my client, but his statement is asking for and included in the application the reason he believes that he can successfully complete a deferred at this point in time of his life.
All right, the court is, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Mark Lewis.
All right, defense.
Mr. Lewis, did you file voluntarily a motion for deferred or asking the court to assess punishment by way of a deferred probation? Yes, I did. And we've noticed in your report that there have been juvenile incidences and prior instances. Have you, what is it about this application at this time that may result in a favorable outcome for you versus when you were much younger?
Well, of course, when I was younger, I was acting like a kid. I didn't think it would help me. I believed that I could do it my own way. Since that initial time frame, I've been to a PUC. I now have a daughter. I've learned what my results will bring me. I was acting like a kid back then. I just thought I could BS my way through it to just try to reach my destination real fast, but I cheated myself.
And do you believe that alcohol and or drugs played a role in the offense that you pled no contest to?
Yes.
Have you got a potential place to live?
My bad.
If you were placed on deferred by this court?
At this point in time, I'll be residing at Haven for Hope in PCY Courtyard. My dad lives in Houston. He's looking into assisting me in financially helping me get an apartment within a small time frame, providing that I follow probation rules and successfully do a couple months of course, positive living, employment, classes, everything. Then my dad's willing to ask his family to help me with a potential place.
And are you willing to allow the court to help you or address your drug usage?
Yes.
And if the court decides that there should be some classes or some skills or some programs that you attend, are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Are you asking the court for deferred?
I am.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell the court that we have not covered?
No, I feel like we've been covered.
Ask the witness.
State.
Mr. Hughes, you've been previously placed on deferred, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there several NTRs were filed in that case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And eventually that did result in the vote.
Yes.
Yeah. And shortly after it would have been released, it was the same, that first offense, it was violation of sex offender registration, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And shortly after that, you were booked again on violation of sex offender registration.
Yes, sir.
And there you were sentenced to 3 years state jail.
Yeah, 2 years. Listen.
So yeah, that might be a typo there, Judge. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. And that offense was related to something that when he was a juvenile, according to what I'm reading.
Right.
And so it was just, let me see, what did they call it? They called it prohibited sexual conduct.
Right.
And I see you have gang affiliation.
I did.
And what gang was that?
It was 5 days for it.
Okay. So why were you hanging around this hotel?
I was inebriated. I was charging my phone on a little outlet across from the Starbucks next to the hotel. I was downtown. I take some over-the-counter medication, and time just started fading away. I was charging my phone, and I dropped my charging cord in the grate. So I went away. I came back, and later on that night, I moved the grate to get my charging cord, and it actually entered into it was a room, and I couldn't get back up. So I went through the door, and that's how I ended up in the hotel.
Okay, I don't understand your story. What do you mean you went back up?
No, like it was a grate in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an air duct. My phone cord, when I unplugged it out of the wall port, it had fallen down into that grate. It was like a duct. I couldn't get back up because the ceiling was like up there, the actual street level.
Okay, so where were you charging your phone?
I was charged right across from the Starbucks.
So was it
hotel.
where you were charging your phone? That wasn't inside a facility, that was outside.
Outside on the street level in the passageway between River Center Mall and Dimension Hotel.
Okay. All right. Anything else from either side?
Just argument, Your Honor.
I've been, Your Honor, accept the argument.
All right. I have a question just as soon as probation is available, but I'll hear argument.
Judge, really here, the two charges that he went to TDC for were violation of sex offender registration. Already shown those were conditions that he was given that he had to follow up with. Both occasions he was unable to do that. On the first occasion, it actually was, he was granted deferred. He was given the opportunity to speak out and get help, and he didn't take advantage of it. Motion to revoke eventually filed, and he was sentenced to 18 months in the jail. The state's concern is just that it's a repeated history of not being able to follow regulations or rules that are set out for him. And when he was given a chance, he showed that he wasn't able to follow the rules. And that's where he was revoked and sentenced to prison.
All right. Probation? Yes, on this case, with the violation of sex offender registration, will SAFP accept him?
No, Your Honor.
ISF?
What would you choose? 3 years behind bars or 10 years living under some of the strictest probation conditions imaginable? That was the life-changing decision facing Mark Daniel Lewis when he appeared before Judge Stephanie Boyd in a Texas courtroom. Lewis had already entered a no-contest plea and was hoping for deferred adjudication, a chance to avoid a conviction and move forward with his life.
But the state wasn't convinced.
Prosecutors pointed to his criminal history, including multiple violations related to sex offender registration requirements. According to the court records, Lewis had already been given opportunities in the past and failed to follow the rules. Now, Judge Boyd had to decide whether he deserved another chance. When Lewis took the stand, he admitted that drugs and alcohol had played a role in his life. He told the court he was different now. He had matured, become a father, and finally understood the consequences of his actions. He explained that if released, he planned to stay at Haven for hope while working to rebuild his life. He also said his father was willing to help him financially and support his recovery. But Judge Boyd wasn't interested in promises alone. She carefully reviewed his record, questioned him about his past, his gang affiliation, and even challenged parts of his explanation surrounding the offense. The judge wanted one thing above all else: proof that this time would be different. Then came the defining moment of the hearing. After listening to both sides, Judge Boyd looked directly at Lewis and presented him with two options. The state wanted 6 years in prison. Instead, she offered a choice. She could sentence him to 3 years in prison immediately, or suspend the prison sentence and place him on 10 years of probation. There was one catch. The probation would be extremely strict. Without hesitation, Lewis chose probation. Judge Boyd then laid out the conditions. He would remain in custody until entering a substance abuse treatment facility. He would have to complete recovery programs, submit to regular drug testing, attend 90 recovery meetings in 90 days, maintain employment, undergo mental health evaluation, and comply with intensive supervision requirements. There would be restrictions on contact with minors, restrictions on employment, and even restrictions involving certain family relationships until the court was satisfied those connections were healthy and appropriate. By the end of the hearing, it became clear that probation wasn't freedom. It was accountability. Judge Boyd had effectively suspended a 6-year prison sentence over Lewis's head and made it clear that one major mistake could send him straight to prison. As the hearing concluded, the judge offered a simple farewell. Good luck to you. But everyone in the courtroom understood the message behind those words. This wasn't a victory. It was a final opportunity. And whether Mark Lewis succeeded or failed would depend entirely on the choices he made from that day forward.
Homeless, living out of vehicles, doing drugs. So you're not allowed to have any contact with them. Do you understand?
Your Honor, if I may speak, my birth mom and my birth dad, it was a one-time meet. I recently got in contact with my birth dad in 2020 whenever I paroled out of TBC, and he's my number one supporter right now. My birth mom, I'm perfectly fine with that, no contact, because she has continued a drug use and like that lifestyle. She currently actually has a drug-related case, so I've already made it a point, and my dad knows this as well, that I don't want anything to do with her. My dad, he's my number one supporter right now.
Mr. Smith, here's the thing. If you want that changed, your dad is going to have to present himself to the court.
Hey, he lives in Houston now.
All right. Well, he can do it by Zoom, but I'm not going to let you have any contact for now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to show you. Is there anything else, probation, with regards to sentencing? All right. Mr. Lewis, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you for the time.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Yes.